and welcome to another virtual visit. My name is Cara Green, and I'm here with Chana Wood of SugarWood. So Shana's family and I actually go back a really long time, about 20 years ago when I first moved here. Even though I've only known Shana for about 6 years, I grew up right next to her grandmother, Donna Ritchie, who you might know from her recipe, which is Shana's flagship product, the sea salt topped caramel shortbread. So a fun story about Donna, if you didn't know her, about how she was this wonderful, feisty little Italian lady. When I was growing up, we had horses, and our horses would get out a lot. So one night, the Barron County Sheriff actually called our house. My dad answered, and he says, you know, there's some animals out on the road, and we want to know, are they yours, and please get them in. So my dad went and looked, and sure enough, they were actually the neighbor's horses.
They were my grandma's horses?
Well,
oh, okay.
Kind of. Sorry. So the sheriff calls our neighbor, Paul and Donna, and Donna answers the phone, and the sheriff says, hey, you have some horses out. And Donna replies, I don't own any damn horses, and she hangs up the phone on the sheriff. So the sheriff calls back to our house, and he tells my dad what happened. And so my dad says, all right, I'll wake up Bill Bernizer, who was the one that also took care of their horses, and we'll get them put back in. But that little story kind of is really everything you need to know about Donna. Yeah. And one of my favorite things about Shana is that Donna has passed on a lot of that sort of grit and tenacity and feistiness to her. So if you don't know Shana, she does have a wonderful video about the whole history of SugarWood on her website, which is sugarwoodshop.com. But we'll have her tell you guys just a little bit about her history and how she came to be with a little bakery in Cumberland.
Yes, hi guys. Look at all the viewers we have. Hi Jaden, nice to see you. Okay, so do we start with me coming to Cumberland or just like the general overview of my business?
Let's start with how you ended up in Cumberland.
Okay.
That's a really interesting story.
Yes. So I grew up in Cumberland in the Barron area. As Cara said, my grandma and grandpa's farm was literally like our land connected to Cara's family's land. And so I grew up on the farm with my grandma all the time, going to the Dairy Queen, going to Louie's downtown. And I moved to the cities for about 15 years. And while we were in the cities, my husband and I, we had 2 children. We were living life, living the high life, enjoying all the luxuries that the Twin Cities had to offer. And about 7 years ago, my husband was laid off from his job unexpectedly, out of nowhere. And we kind of had to have a revival of our spirit and figure out, what do we want to do? Do we want to stay in the cities and get back on this horse? Or should we do this thing that we've always wanted to do all of our lives, which was move back to Cumberland, Wisconsin and be close to family? So we took a huge leap of faith. We borrowed money from my sister who helped us pay 6 months worth of rent. We came here with no jobs, no plan, had to sell all of our belongings on Craigslist when we left our home because we needed the money. Literally came here with nothing but a dream and my recipe book of recipes from my grandma, which I was doing at the time just for a hobby. SugarWood wasn't a business at that time. I was in the cities and I was just a bored mom. So I would bake for birthday parties and things like that. And then we came to Cumberland about 7 years ago and things just kind of took off from there. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, was it Louie's that was the first one to sort of take a chance on you guys?
Yes, so it's a funny story. That Christmas, we moved here that summer of 2013, I think it was. And at that Christmas, we needed money for our kids. We had no money at that time, and we needed to provide a Christmas of some sort. A very humble Christmas. But John had just started working at the U.S. Bank at that time, but we only had a few months of that income. And I thought, what's a way that I could make a little bit of money, just enough to buy Christmas presents for my kids? And funny enough, I started selling Grandma Ritchie's famous her caramel shortbread. I put together this cookie box with all her famous cookies from Christmas, and I basically begged friends and family to buy it from me and feel sorry for me. And they did. And one of my friends, I don't know who to this day, maybe someday I'll get to find out, somebody brought it to Louie's Finer Meats and gifted it to one of the buyers there, one of the managers. And that person called me and said, we really loved that hunk of caramel shortbread that you had in that cookie gift set. The caramel shortbread was just a whim. Like, it was just something I whipped together. My grandma never really made caramel shortbread. She made caramels, salted caramels. And the shortbread was an idea that I found. I was like, this would be kind of good, like put them together. And I had no idea how to sell in a store. I had no idea what that meant, but I just said yes. I was like, yep, that sounds good. And the funny thing is that everything that came for my business, honest to God, every blessing that I have can be rooted in getting into Louie's Finer Meats. If I would have never gotten into Louie, I mean, I can't say, but I'm just saying, every customer we got, every other retailer we ever got, we've never done marketing. I've never paid for marketing in my life, other than the pictures and the little flyers that I put together. I never hired a marketing team. Louie's Finer Meats, just having my product in their store, is how people would be driving to their cabins that owned other stores, and they would call me. It's been an incredible 6 years, and it's still going. It's crazy. Yeah.
I would say that's definitely one of the things, too, that makes your business really unique and special, is that you don't have a storefront in downtown. Mm-hmm. And as much as people beg and beg you to have one, I think that's been part of your success, is being able to stay away from that. So you're so free in what you're able to do. Yes,
that's one of the things, too, is I have realtors that call me a lot, asking, would you like to buy this storefront? This place is open for rent. I get emails from customers asking, why aren't you downtown? Like, you should have a candy shop downtown. It's just never felt like my calling. We are sitting in my renovated garage right now, and it's just the perfect little, I think of it like a creative artistic bungalow here. I see myself more as an artist than a baker. I like to be creative, I like to be innovative, and not having a storefront allows me financially the opportunity to be able to take risks with my business and try different things. I mean, there's gift sets and promotions that I've done that haven't been a huge hit, but it's not such a huge hit financially because we don't have the overhead of rent and employees and all of that stuff. And I just kind of like being this entity that's like my own thing that can be fluid with whatever we want. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, maybe someday we'll do a pop-up shop. I know you guys are talking about the Chamber's doing some really cool things in the future with doing cool pop-up shops and renting place. It might be something for like a weekend or a month or something that I would do, but I don't know. I like being off the beaten path. It fits my vibe.
Yes.
Totally.
And you're still a huge part of the community too.
Yeah.
You know, people know you as the Caramel Lady now.
I know. It's
whether
so
you like
weird.
it or not.
It's so weird. Yeah, it's weird. Like, I've picked up the kids from school before, and people are like, are you the Caramel Lady? The lady at the Louie's? And I was like, yes, it's me. So yeah, and I still donate to fundraisers. We had a really big fundraiser last year for Addie Homes. We donated almost $4,000, close to $4,000. And the reason I was able to do a fundraiser like that is because of where I'm at, because I don't have much overhead, so I can do like fun, creative things. I love being a part of the events that the community is a part of. I'll be at the pop-up shop at Peter and Annie's in May, all sorts of stuff. But yeah, I'm kind of like a secret little crazy artist lady.
So if any of you out there are watching and you think, boy, I'd love to have a business in Cumberland, but I just don't see myself downtown. You guys, there's ways of doing it. You just have to have a lot of grit and a lot of tenacity, because Chana's had to overcome a lot of obstacles in her journey to get to where she is. So yeah, if you don't have to be downtown too to be part of this community, a business is.
Absolutely.
So now you've come a long, long ways, but I'm sure you still have some goals or dreams for what your business could be. And you know, I know we talk sometimes about what you'd like to do, and they're not necessarily SugarWood goals. Do you want to share with anybody about some of those other goals that you're going after?
Which ones are you thinking of?
I was thinking of your books.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yes. Okay. So as I mentioned before, you know, this business kind of plopped into my lap. It's not like I woke up one day and thought, I want to have a successful baking business with my grandma's recipes. That's not how this came to be. And I think some of the coolest things in life happen that way. I had a totally different plan for my life. And one of those things that I've always wanted to be is a writer. I am a writer. I would like to be a published author. Change the language on that. I've been writing all of my life for different blogs and different other smaller opportunities. But I am in the process of writing a memoir. And I have other books in mind too. I've got like 3 to 5 books that I want to do. So my next goal is to write a memoir, kind of sharing stories about my life, stories about growing up in Cumberland, stories about my grandma and the lessons that she taught me, but a lot of stuff from my 20s and just kind of encompassing everything that got me to this place. And then we have other dreams too. We have other goals and things we want to do. We're starting to do gift sets where we collaborate with other small businesses. That's something that I really miss, is the collaboration with other people. As I told Cara before, I'm kind of like by myself here a lot. We hire people to work every now and then, but I love that camaraderie with other small businesses. So a big goal of mine this year is to get into gift sets for businesses to use us for their client gifts, employee gifts, for their marketing purposes. I reach out to people who do all sorts of really cool stuff. People who sew, people who make soap, people who make bath and body, other bakers. I've had other bakers in my gift sets too. So those are 2 huge goals for me this year, definitely. And just to see where we go with SugarWood. I don't know. Every year I'm surprised by how much we've grown. So we'll see where it goes. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, and sometimes your goals just, there's something that you think you're going to go down the path and it's for sure going to happen, and then something sort of wild and crazy ends up coming across your path, and you think, okay, this has got to be a sign that what I was doing maybe wasn't how I should have been going about it, or maybe my end goal needs to sort of shift. Because
Yes, that's something that happened to us too. Originally when we started the business, I was thinking retail, like get us into as many retail stores as we possibly could. We didn't have a website yet. We were not online. And then once we got online, after about 2 years of doing retail, we opened up nationally to an entire audience. I mean, I have customers, I think we've shipped to every state now. Every state, except for Hawaii, which I'm hoping to get to. I've had customers purchase our products online and take them overseas to their families in Australia or Germany, or my sister lives in England. SugarWood's been to England. I had one customer who brought my SugarWood to Italy, which was like, as an Italian mama here, I could have died. Like, that was it for me. So online was really what was surprising to us. I think that when you think about small business in a small town, trying to market your product just to the people around you can be really difficult. So we somehow fell into the flow of being on social media and getting online. And now I have regular customers all over the country that order so much from us. Like, I can't even believe I've showed Cara before during our promotions how much we ship. It's like insane. So sometimes I feel like I'm an Amazon fulfillment center as well as a local business. So finding that balance has been really difficult too for us, because if we do too much retail, then we suffer on the social media or on the website side. I don't know, it's like one kind of hand feeds the other is what I've noticed. So that was a really pleasant surprise, and I hope to grow our online business even more in the years to come.
So that kind of goes into my next question, which I think is probably pretty self-explanatory, but it's, what do you think you're known for in Cumberland?
Oh, Lord!
And maybe apart from being the caramel lady, we could touch too on those wonderful gift sets that you put together. And that's a big part of what is online, what most people will see if they visit your sugar shop, sugarwoodshop.com, is they'll see those gift sets, because you do promotionals, I would say probably about every holiday or so?
Yeah, every holiday. Sometimes I think I'm known as the lady who sleeps in her van outside the elementary school, because I'm known to take a nap or two while I'm waiting to pick my kids up from school 2019. I got caught sleeping a lot in my van. But I think in Cumberland, I'm definitely known for the caramels and the caramel shortbread. Every store in Cumberland, by the grace of God, has our product in it. So Peter and Annie's, Island Wines, Louie's, the Cumberland gift shop at the hospital has had it. I could name more, but it's everywhere in town, and I'm so lucky for that. A lot of times people wonder, why aren't my items that are online also in the retail stores? And that really just comes down to manpower. I do not have this huge staff of people that can, we have items on the website that are delicious and wonderful, but they're a little bit more time consuming to make, and I have to only save those for the website. I would like to get known more for that, because I don't know if customers realize that you can order from my website and there's an option to pick Cumberland, Wisconsin pickup. So if you're local, even if you're not in Cumberland, and you just want to drive here and pick it up, it's really easy to do that, because you just click that option for shipping and it will charge you nothing. And then I can create those specialty products that aren't featured in the stores. Maybe someday we'll have them in the stores, but there's things on our website like the caramel crispy bars, the caramel pretzel bars are on the website. During Valentine's Day, I do the caramel marshmallow, which is
favorites.
Like, I know, it's so good. The caramel marshmallow, I only do it once a year. It's kind of like Girl Scout cookies. People wait for it for a whole year. And then we have Peeps right now for Easter. We're doing homemade Peeps. We have, oh my gosh, what else do I have? Bunny batter frosting dip. It's a buttercream frosting with marshmallow and cotton candy and cake batter flavoring, and you can dip these sprinkled shortbread in it, and that comes together like a little gift. There's Mother's Day gift sets that I do. Father's Day sometimes I will do, and then obviously holiday, Christmas is out of this world. I come up with so many different gift sets and price points for the holidays, but I would like people to know that they can order on my website and pick up here. You just have to schedule a pickup time with me. It's not even that hard. But I often feel like people only see the caramel at the stores, so they don't know I do a bunch of other stuff. And I've even done custom orders. Like if you have a wedding and you want to do some party favors or some sort of a treat for your wedding, I love the little gifts. I love the packaging. I almost love the packaging as much as the baking. Sometimes a little bit more, but I can come up with pretty much anything. People just have to reach out to me.
Well, yeah, because this really, this isn't a factory. This isn't we make one thing. This is your little kitchen where you can come in here and do a lot of custom stuff. So I mean, really, it might sound crazy, but just reach out to her and see if she can do it, because chances are she'll figure out a way.
Yeah.
If it's something baked and delicious, she's got something.
Yeah, I can figure it out. It's fun. This is like my little artist studio where I can pretty much do whatever I want. We even started selling hand sanitizer last year. At one point when we got reached out to, I think it was, I don't know, the FDA or somebody reached out to us and asked us about making hand sanitizer. And we were like, yeah, why not? So we flipped our whole bakery during the pandemic to a hand sanitizer studio for a few months. And I was huffing different fragrances for the hand sanitizer. I was so excited. As you can see, when you make caramel all day, every day, you get really excited for other creative things. So that's something that I'm hoping to get more out of, is more creativity, more different specialty products. And maybe someday they'll be in the stores. We'll see where it goes.
Only time will tell.
Yes, yes.
All right, one last question is, what would you like to see in Cumberland's future, whether it's for your business or just as a community as a whole?
I just think continuing to grow. Let me take a drink. I gotta think.
Yes, we're a small community, and that's great, but having maybe some bigger city amenities might make it so that people are more apt to stay. I know a lot of people my age go off to somewhere else.
Yes.
And then a lot of times they end up coming back, which is great. But what can we do, maybe to keep people here?
Here's what I was thinking the other day. I think that there's a lot of young, fresh blood coming up in Cumberland as far as like downtown, Main Street, things like that. And I think creating an experience for families is a huge deal. I know that my kids are 9 and 13 now, so I'm kind of out of that little kid stage, but I love like the bunny betas that you guys brought back. I know that Peter and Annie's is planning some fun stuff coming up for families and some events. I love that the chamber, I think the idea of doing like pop-up shops and events is really huge. And just bringing more awareness to what downtown has to offer, I think is huge. And I don't know, I think I can feel, like maybe you can feel it too, there's a new energy downtown over the last like year.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely the pandemic kind of made it go wrong for a while. But now I just feel like there's this rejuvenation happening, and I'm seeing like there are people opening new stores and we don't know what they're going to be, and it's really exciting. Definitely more events for families. I think more ways for people to connect. And doing stuff like this. You know, I watched your video with Dancing Bird Studios, and I've walked by that store 1,000 times, and I feel really, really bad. I just thought it was something different. I just thought, if you guys haven't watched her videos, they're on the chamber page of the previous 2 business owners. I thought it was like you go and get your artwork framed. And then when you did the tour, I was like, holy crap, like this is stuff I would actually buy. So I think sharing these videos, sharing this information is going to create an excitement as well about the community. But I think Cumberland's going to be just fine. There's so much going on. Like Louis on the Lake is opening up. I think just continuing what the traditions that we've always had is really important too. Like Rutabaga Festival, all these fun things that people look forward to in town. Families love tradition, and it's something that you hold on to generation to generation. And I think one of the things that makes Cumberland so special is that we don't give up on that stuff. And so definitely I'm excited to see what the next few years has to offer.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is quite a bit of ebb and flow in our town.
Yes.
And we do seem to be sort of on that flow upwards of new things going on.
Yeah, I see people like fixing up buildings and like doing stuff. I'm like, oh my God, what's that store going to be? What's that store going to be? I know like Peter and Annie's moving to the corner has been a huge opportunity. They have music now on Saturdays from 11 to 2. You know, just trying new things. I think that's the other thing too. Sometimes when you're in a small town, I think you get into a rut.
Absolutely.
Of what we've always done and the same things. And I think like what's been great about the chamber this year too is you guys have infused new ideas. Even if they might not work, like you're trying new things and you're trying to bring more eyes to downtown. And I know that your website's coming up, so that's going to be really cool for people to be able to navigate and see what's going on. And just, I think small businesses supporting each other is a huge, huge thing, because especially with this last year with the pandemic, we all were like scared out of our minds. So I think that finding ways to collaborate with other small businesses is huge. Finding ways to support each other. Like I said, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Louis. Louis did not have to take a chance on me. They're doing just fine without my stuff. But somehow that helped my business. So now I'm in a position, that's why I love to do these gift sets and stuff, because now I'm in a position after 6 years in business to help other people that are coming up and that are smaller and bring awareness to their brands as well. We all have to help each other.
Absolutely.
It's like when you're up here, you got to reach down and pull people up with you.
Because we all have the same goal. We all want to see a successful town and a successful business district. And so if we can all just maybe sacrifice just a tiny little bit to bring others up, it'll absolutely help everybody in the long run.
Yes. I think that makes a big difference too, especially in small towns. We tend to love our own. And we all have the same goal, like she said. We want Cumberland to be known. Cumberland is really well known already, but I feel like, I don't know, we're like this little loving family that just wants to help each other and see each other grow. So that's my goal, just to keep being a part of that in any way that I can. And we'll see where it goes. Yeah.
All right, we did get one question, and it was from Jaden. She wanted to know if you would do any dairy-free treats
Jaden!
Who, if you don't know Jaden, she's kind of the master at creating goodies that are for those with who have more of a sensitive diet.
Yes, Jaden, I love you so much, and it is definitely something that I'm considering. It really comes down to time. I've had people ask me before, you know, are you going to do dairy-free, sugar-free, gluten-free, all of that stuff? And honestly, if I can continue to grow this business and I can get the team of people in here to help me so that I can, you know, keep up with the orders that I have, then it's definitely something I could do. But right now, it's just me and my husband, who also works a full-time job, and a handful of wonderful employees that help a ton. But we're barely keeping above water with the orders that we have. So dabbling into new recipes and things like that isn't on my radar until I build my team a little bit more. So definitely would love to help with that someday. But Jaden makes the best breads, you guys, and the best Chex Mix ever, if you don't know. So we'll see in the future. What are other people saying? Cumberland is a wonderful community, and it's great to hear that downtown is coming back again. It is. It's amazing. Thanks for the shout out. We agree that we all need to support each other. That's right. Yes. Jaden, I have the same problem. Yes.
There's just not enough time in the day, right?
No. We're all working so hard trying to keep up, but maybe in the future, definitely.
All right, well, thank you everybody for joining us, and thank you so much to Shayna for doing this with me. If you are able to, I strongly encourage you to go to sugarwoodshop.com and check out some of the awesome videos that Shayna's had made. One of them is the whole process of making the caramel, right? That one's still up there?
Yes, that's on the website. Yeah, we have one of how we make the caramel, one of my story, one of how we package it all up. Just kind of creep around on my website and you'll find it. Or my social media too. Instagram is @SugarWood. Facebook is SugarWood. Send me some good energy to publish this book, please. That's my next big goal. I need lots of vibes for that. And Mother's Day is coming. I know it sounds crazy because Easter isn't even here. But I'm already on to the next thing. So I'm really excited about my Mother's Day gift sets, you guys. I wanted to share a little sneak peek today, but I held back. So
you'll just have to follow her social media because she does an awesome job with promoting her items on there. So thanks again for joining us, and next week we're going to be at Tavis's Mushrooms talking with the old Cumberland's Mushroom Man and his team as well about his journey and then what he's up to now. And just a minor time change for that one, it's going to be on Tuesday, but it won't be until 2:15 on Tuesday afternoon. So thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.